Good morning and welcome to the daily cyber briefing for Monday, the 7th of July. I'm not Richard Benfield, I'm Stephen Ridgway. Hope you enjoyed listening to Rich last week. But it is back to me again. So anyway, there's only a couple of things to talk about this morning, a couple of POCs. So there's a vulnerability in Citrix that's being tracked as CitrixBleed 2, CVE 2025-5777. It is similar to the 2023 CitrixBleed vulnerability. It allows similar sorts of access, including allowing unauthenticated attackers to extract information such as authentication tokens directly from memory of affected appliances. So that will obviously allow for things like MFA, 2FA bypass, user session hijacking, and basically unauthorized access to stuff. Well, these things are all well and good until somebody creates a simple to use proof of concept, and there's one out there. So be aware if you're using any of the Citrix components in their gateway configuration, so NetScalers and so on and so forth. NetScaler ADCs and gateway devices configured as a gateway, according to the article, by which they mean VPN virtual servers, ICA proxies, CVPNs, RDP proxies, but also if the devices are configured as a AAA virtual server. Solution is to patch immediately. Patches are available. If you're running an end-of-life version, they are not backporting these fixes to end-of-life versions. So upgrade ASAP. Also, there's a recommendation to terminate active sessions after patching. So don't just patch and terminate sessions. I don't have a NetScaler Citrix device to test this on, but I'm guessing the patch can be applied dynamically without necessarily having to reboot the device. In situations like that, then pre-existing sessions may well survive the patching process. There's also the crux of a detection rule, basically looking for post requests with only a logon parameter, so no value or equals sign. And also by looking at the initial value in the response can help determine whether the devices are vulnerable and being attacked or not. You may want to have a look at that. These some further information in the article from GB Hackers, which we will link to the briefing. And also from GB Hackers, there is an article that points out that a privilege escalation vulnerability in Linux and most major streams of Linux now has a again easy to exploit proof of concept available. This particular vulnerability is a vulnerability in the udisksd daemon and the backend half of that, which is libblockdev, or libblockdev rather. It's a local privilege escalation vulnerability. It's found in definitely Fedora SUSE, but also any systems that use udisksd and libblockdev as part of the udev environment. So udisk, sorry, not udev. Goodness me, you can tell I've had a week off. Right, so the key to this is that there is insufficient validation of the user calling udisk. So that then allows for processes to be run as root that should be run as an unprivileged user. There is, for those of you that are more interested in how this works, there is a very simple Python script in the article and GB Hackers that will demonstrate and trigger the vulnerability and demonstrate the vulnerability. The fix to it is to patch. There is a patch available, but there is also, you can check the details of that. It actually basically is saying not just for the process to check the allowed group, but also to check the user ID that's calling for these things. So a simple patch, but it does demonstrate how sometimes these things at a system level can go wrong, and you need to keep on top of them. So if you're running Linux, definitely Fedora or SUSE, but if you are running a Linux distribution that uses udisksd daemon and libblockdev, then definitely worth a quick read of this. Definitely worth looking to see whether the distribution has got patches available or whether you want to go in and manually make adjustments to these things. Right, well, that's all from me for today. I hope you have a good start to the week.